Hello, I'm live. It's just me, I think. There's bugs. It's 2 o'clock. Oh, hi. Hi, one person. 2 people. Hello. I hope you can see me. There's some bugs. I'll wait until we have a few more people and then I'll get going. It's a really beautiful day today. It's not very humid at all. It's been kind of humid because it's been rainy in St. Louis. But it's so nice today. It's like, I think 73 degrees. And yeah, so alright. We'll wait for a few more people. They are pruning a tree right in the area where I was planning to talk about most of my plants. It's been sporadic. Hi, Miss Lori. So I don't think it'll be a problem, but I apologize. It can be a little bit loud. And it looks like they've got a person kind of guarding to make sure people aren't walking by right there, but we'll go around, I guess. Oh, hi, Max. And so my name's Nancy. I'm the City Museum's Events and Programming Coordinator, and lately I've been talking about plants at Tower Grove Park, which is a park in St. Louis, and it was a gift from a man named Henry Shaw to the city, and it was established in, let me get my notes. I'm gonna turn the camera around because I'm just like fidgeting. And you can see the pretty tree instead of me. So where is what I wrote down? Can't find it. Here it is. Okay, yeah. So it was founded, for if you haven't tuned in before and don't know this, let me know if you can't hear me. They're currently pruning right now. So it was founded in 1868 by Henry Shaw as a gift from him to the city. And right here, I believe this is an Osage orange tree. The flowers look a little bit different from what I saw online, but this may just be a different varietal. The tree that I wanted to talk about is over there, right where they're doing the pruning. So I don't think I can really go that way right now, but I will have to because I want to talk about hyacinths, and in my nifty map it said that there were hyacinths that way. Oh, hi, Matt. And so the Osage orange tree is actually really interesting. It's a deciduous tree, and they grow really tall. They grow 30 to 50 feet tall. I read that when they're planted kind of close together, they don't grow quite as tall. But yeah, this one looks pretty tall, and they actually give off these weird fruits. I'm sure it's a pretty, common tree in this park. I'm pretty new to Missouri, so I don't know if, I didn't really, look into whether they're pretty common in Missouri, but they seem like they are, because you kind of see those, weird, big green fruits everywhere. And, so that spherical fruit can grow up to 6 inches in diameter. They're pretty large, and, the fruit secretes a sticky white latex like substance when it's cut or damaged. And it's funny that they're called Osage orange trees, or they're called orange trees, because they're not really, they're pretty distantly related to orange trees, and they're more of a member of the mulberry tree family. And the fruit that they give off isn't typically eaten by humans or foraging animals, which is interesting. So it kind of seems like the fruit is, a little bit pointless, but it's actually there's a term that it's referred to as it's anachronistic. So it's just kind of maybe at one point they, in its evolution it did benefit something, but right now it just is it's just necessary for the tree's reproduction. And it's actually used it's another name for it is hedge apple tree, because it's used for hedgerows to create, you know, hedges along the borders of properties or different areas. And it can become weedy or invasive if it's not properly managed. So that means that it can kind of, you know, take over and take from the nutrients of the plants that are planted nearby. And its wood was once in high demand for making hubs and wheel rims for horse-drawn wagons, and other uses where decay resistance was important. So the wood is not very likely to decay, which is interesting. And the native people of the Osage Nation and the Comanche Nations used the wood for bows, and it was very because of its the wood so hardy that it was ideal for making bows. The earliest account was given by Dunbar, a Scottish explorer, in 1804. So these trees have been around in the United States for a really long time, and they're really big. I wish I could show you one of those fruits. I guess it hasn't, you know, it's not its season yet. But we are unfortunately going to have to walk towards the pruning, and they have like a whole section there cautioned off, and I think that man is standing there to make sure that people don't get near. So I'm gonna have to go all the way around, but that's okay. Hope you don't mind coming with me. It's gonna be kind of a walk. Hope everyone's doing well, and I know there's a lot going on right now. That's one of the reasons why CJ just wasn't really up for going live earlier, and you know, things happen, and that kind of interfere with other things. So that sounds dumb, but okay. Well, we'll go over here to this other the second plant that I wanted to talk about. It's called a Hagen cherry tree, and I didn't get a chance to come earlier and make sure that these were all here, but I believe it probably will be. I'm hoping it will be. I know we've kind of like struck out a few times. Oh, I see it. There's a lot of people there. Maybe I won't get so close, but I don't know if you can see it. It looks kind of like it's weeping. That's what was marked in my nifty map that someone created of the plants here. And there it is. So, man, my camera is just not the best, is it? It's also pretty sunny, so I don't even know if you can see it. I'll get close. There's not that many people. But yeah, here it is. So it's a winter flowering cherry tree, actually. Or actually, it's referred to as the winter flowering cherry, spring cherry, and then, you know, the formal name, I believe, is the Hagen cherry. And it originated in Japan. This one's kind of small, but they can grow up to 30 feet tall. They're pretty fast growing, and this cherry is longer lived than other ornamental cherry trees. I don't know if you guys remember when we talked about the Yoshino cherry trees, but yeah, this is native also to Japan. No, it's where did I write that down? Maybe I didn't write it down. It's a native to Asia, and it's unlike other Asian flowering cherry trees, it's not seriously affected by disease. The Yoshino is very prone to diseases and other pests, and So it's fast growing and it blooms in early or mid-spring, but can also bloom in the fall during warm days, which is it's really rare, but it can do that. I can't remember if I've actually, oh, you can see, hi Michelle, I'm glad you can see. So I've not seen it bloom in the fall. I come to this park pretty frequently and I haven't actually paid attention probably, but now I know to come here and look at this tree in the fall and see if maybe I see it bloom. And the dark green leaves, it's pretty dark. The leaves are pretty dark in the summer. And then they kind of change as the seasons change. So they change to shades of bronze and red and gold and yellow in the fall, and then it sheds its leaves. And it's one of several cherry trees that are actually in the tidal basin of Washington, D.C., where the National Cherry Blossom Festival takes place. So that was kind of neat. I've heard of that Cherry Blossom Festival. I know that there are a few winters where it's just like too cold to go and enjoy it. There was one winter when I was set to go, but then things happened and I didn't get to go. But yeah, that's the Yoshino cherry tree. This is a pretty fountain that's, hi Bridget, that's in the park, in Tower Grove Park. But now we're gonna go find some hyacinths. Hopefully I find some. It's been pretty rainy, so a lot of the blooms have a lot of the flowers have like lost their petals. But I remember seeing some hyacinths in the park. I don't particularly remember them being over in this area where the map showed. But we're gonna come see if we can find them. And I know that they just planted a bunch more. But let's see. The map took me this way. I hope the video's not super shaky. Oh, it's kind of marshy here. Can you hear it? Can you hear my shoes like sinking into the grass? Huh. I don't see the hyacinths. Oh, but there's some really pretty, ooh. There's some pretty lily pads. Man, well, I don't have a printer at my house, or else I would print out. Ooh. So pretty. I don't see any hyacinths. This is where they're supposed to be. But they're really, they're these really beautiful flowers. Look at this ducky. Okay, squishy shoes. Is it too late for hyacinths, Bridget? Oh, maybe. I guess. I didn't know that. I didn't really read that anywhere. But we'll talk about them anyway. And so hyacinths, let me get to my correct page. They bloom in the spring. Oh yeah. You know, this with this quarantine, time has gone by slowly but quickly at the same time, it feels. And yeah, you're right. I do remember seeing them way back. I guess that was 2 months ago. My goodness, May is almost gone. But we're gonna talk about them anyway, because that's what I wrote down. Beautiful. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, this park is gorgeous. I love this park, and I come here every day, and I'm never gonna get sick of it. There's always something new to see, and there's always a new, different way to go through the trails. And okay, so Bridget, I'm sorry, but I'm going to talk about hyacinths even though they are not here. There's these pretty blooms here. What do you guys want to see? I don't know what these guys are, but they're pretty. So hyacinths, yeah, I wrote down they're spring blooming. I don't know why I feel like it's still spring even though it's so hot. And they're very fragrant. And they're actually in the asparagus family, which I thought was kind of funny. And they're native to the eastern Mediterranean region. They grow from bulbs in 4 to 6 linear leaves with 1 to 3 spikes. So they kind of grow upward in these clusters that look like spears. And they're used in the table setting for Persian New Year celebrations, which I thought was kind of neat. And hyacinth bulbs actually contain oxalic acid, which can be poisonous to humans. So if you ever want to plant some, it's recommended to wear gloves so that you don't hurt yourself or you don't get a skin irritation. And so it can be traced back to Hyacinthos, who is a young Greek boy, Apollo, who's the god of the sun, and Zephyr, who's the god of the west wind. They adored him, and they competed for his attention all the time. And then there was one instance where Apollo was teaching Hyacinthos how to throw a discus, and Zephyr saw, and in this jealous rage, he blew the discus back, and it hit Hyacinthos in the head, and it killed him, unfortunately. And so Apollo named the flower that grew from his blood hyacinths. And they actually represent consistency. And then blue hyacinths represent sincerity. So if you ever want to get your partner some hyacinths to show your consistency and your sincerity, that'd be a good one to get. I don't think I've ever seen a hyacinth in a bouquet, but yeah, those are hyacinths. So we talked about hyacinths, and we talked about Osage orange trees, and we talked about Hagen cherry trees. That one was really pretty too. I guess I should have started doing these like in the spring, when everything was like in bloom, because the eastern red buds are super pretty in the spring too, and really they have these really bright purple flowers, but we didn't get to see that because it was too late in the season. They're still really pretty. But yeah, we've talked about a lot of different plants, and there's still so many more to talk about, and there's still so much more to see. Yeah, okay, so this park actually does, they plant a lot of palm trees in the summer. Where did you, oh yeah, there they are. So they have, they plant these palm trees in these little planters too, so not just there. I've seen, I don't think they did it this year, but I think last year they had these tiny little palm trees in these planters that they have throughout the park. And then I'm looking for the planters, but I see some on top of that building. I don't know if you see it, like way, it's pretty wacky, way over yonder. It looks like it's maybe some kind of aloe plant way up at the top up there that they planted. I mean, it gets hot enough here to have them planted, but then in the winter, of course, they don't do so well. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I got those 3 plants. Maybe next time we can talk about all the plants that we've talked about and more plants. We'll see. Because I kind of forgot. I've forgotten a few already. I have a terrible memory. Yeah, that is the Palm House. It's really, I've heard that you can have brunch here. I've heard people come here for brunch for Mother's Day, maybe next year, but it seems like a really beautiful space. Oh, we can peek in there. I was peeking in the little courtyard yesterday. I didn't realize that there's this statue back there. Oh, there are lots of palms in there. I haven't really actually peeked in. I feel a bit silly peeking into places sometimes. Can you see? You probably can't see. There's probably too much of a glare, but there's a lot of palm trees in there. Hence the name, I guess. But yeah. Oh, those are, I don't know what they're called in English. Oh yeah, no problem, Michelle. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. I don't know where you are, Michelle, but I hope it's I hope that it's a pretty day there too. And oh, look, there's a little sign about the palm house. So it was constructed in 1878 and designed by George Barnett, the oldest standing greenhouse west of the Mississippi River. And in 1992, the building exterior was restored and stabilized thanks to the generous contributions of a bunch of people and many other donors. But, yeah. I didn't know the park office was in there. Isn't it too late for... Oh, wait. Oops. I scrolled up. Anyway... That's my show for today. I hope that everyone's doing well, and I hope that you stay safe and healthy, and tune in at 4 for Musings with Stephanie and Maria. She's got something really neat from the archives planned, and at 7 o'clock Max goes live for his show, Music and Other Things with Max. And then we've got something pretty neat planned for next Wednesday during Musings with Stephanie and Maria. She's actually, we're going to do kind of a choose your own adventure tour, which will be fun. And we have a whole event page for that if you want to check it out. And I hope that, I already said this probably, I hope that everyone has a great day. Thank you so much for watching.